A little bit different today. Today is the tale of two MacBooks. This is my old MacBook. There is a problem with the graphics chip in it, or graphics setup in it. Now look, it was a known issue with that, but I didn't know that until after I was having problems with it, and turns out I missed the recall on it. So yeah, the cost of getting it fixed, is more than the machine's worth. So anyway, look, I've owned two MacBooks over the last 2 weeks. After that, the first one I said I was going to buy something to flip. That was that. I picked up a 2011 MacBook Pro 13-inch model with a dead hard drive. I put an SSD in that and then listed it for sale and sold it off. So that is gone, and I made what? I can't even remember what I made on that now. I don't know. I didn't double it, but it was close. I almost doubled my money on that one. So that was good. That was a win. However, then I went and bought another one because look, I was planning to make an app, but after this experience, I don't think I will be doing that, and I have too many other things to do right now. So, long story short, that project's canned after this experience, which I will explain to you just now. I bought an early 2013 MacBook Pro off, I think it was Gumtree, Facebook Marketplace, Gumtree. It was off Gumtree, off an elderly gentleman who only took it with him on holidays, like traveling overseas to process his photos and stuff. Now look, it was a good price. I picked it up for cheap, which was good. But then I got it home and was starting to use it, and actually found that the screen had dead pixels. Now, on actually testing it thoroughly, there was over 20 dead pixels in the screen. As far as I've ever seen, dead pixels are usually a manufacturing fault. So they would have been there for a long time. It's 2013, 2019 now, that's 6 years. But I would dare say the guy who owned it may not have had good enough eyesight to see it. Could be wrong, but yeah. I took it to Apple. I took it to 3 authorized Apple service centers and got them to check it out. The quote from each of them was about over $1,000 to fix it, which was more than I paid for the machine and more than the machine's worth. So yeah, I tried all of them. The first one couldn't really do much. They couldn't even get the parts. That wasn't an Apple store. Went to an Apple store after that. They quoted over $1,000 to fix it. And then the third place said, look, bring it in. It might not be the screen. It might be something else. Took it in, got them to have a look at it. They confirmed it was the screen. I believe, as all the kids say these days, rip me, right? Anyway, I contacted the seller. I explained to him what the problem was. I explained to him that I'd taken it to the Apple Service Center, 3 authorized Apple Service Centers, and the Apple Store themselves being one of them, to try and see if it could be fixed. I even contacted Apple support directly and asked them if they would, out of the kindness of their heart, I guess, waive the repair cost. But that wasn't going to happen, unfortunately, because the machine is so old. It is now considered vintage. Which means that they're not making parts for it anymore, and it's harder to get parts. So yeah, that wasn't going to happen. Anyway, I contacted the seller. I asked him, hey, do you ever seen this before, had a problem with this? He said, no, I'd never seen them. So anyway, in talking to him, he's like, look, if it's a problem, you can bring it back and I'll give you your money back. I'm like, yep, that's cool, we'll go with that. So I went back, I took it back to him, I showed him, and yeah, he hadn't seen them before. And in looking at him, he's like, oh, is that a problem? I'm like, yeah, that's a problem. I'm like, even though you can't necessarily see them, like in day-to-day use, like once you see them, you just really don't stop noticing them. Well, I don't anyway. As he'd offered, he gave me my money back, and yeah, I'm just leaving that alone for now. So I've got too many other things going on, but yeah, so in essence, I had a win by flipping the other MacBook after fixing it, and then I had a loss, which wasn't really all that much of a loss, except for probably about a day's worth of running around and picking it up, dropping it off, getting inspected, looking up info, all the rest of it. So yeah, I think it's been a very long time since I've been burnt that badly, like buying something secondhand, but thankfully the seller was willing to work with me. That doesn't always happen though. It's a private sale, stuff sold as is, like there's no warranties implied with that, but thankfully he offered to give me my money back, so I'm in the clear. But yeah, lesson for next time, I guess. Anyway, if you want to see more or see what happens next, you can subscribe or follow on whatever platform you found yourself staring at my face on. Otherwise, yeah, I hope to see you next time. Thanks. Bye.